as we have a GM calling right now. I wonder what that's about.
I mean, do you want to take it? I mean, feel free.
No,
We are
okay.
not more important than a general manager.
The Packers are getting Justin Jefferson, too?
Oh, my goodness.
Adam, what was your takeaway, Packers-Lions?
Well, I have a few takeaways. Number one, the Green Bay Packers are going to have a great season. And they were very impressive in their first game out. And I'm not taking anything away from what they did. They were great. But what I would say is this. The Detroit Lions are not going to be the same offense without Ben Johnson. They're just not going to be. And you could bring in a new offensive coordinator. You could try to run the same offense. But it's not going to be the same. And they missed Ben Johnson's creativity and innovation. And I think they're going to miss it all year long. Like, we talked about the effect that it's going to have on that team. And all I could say is it's going to be an effect.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be felt. Like, it's not going to be the same. Jahmyr Gibbs caught 10 passes for 31 yards. That is the lowest number of receiving yards that an NFL player ever has had in a game for 10 catches. Like, that's kind of a crazy stat to me.
Adam, my biggest takeaway was Detroit's defensive line putting zero pressure on Jordan Love. I thought this was one of the better D lines, and especially Hutchinson. Hutchinson really did nothing.
Again, new defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And I know they groomed these guys and got them ready. It's different. You know, there are certain things in football to me that are incredibly valuable and very difficult to replace. Number one, offensive coordinator, like a play caller. Number two, offensive line coach. I think those are the two most important coaches a team has, in my mind. Defensive coordinator is also very important, of course. But that offensive coordinator, that play caller, that offensive line coach, those are critical jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And there aren't a lot of people that do them at high levels.
So do you think that this could, because again, we have to wait and see how this plays out for Detroit. And didn't get off to a good start. They still have 16 games to get this thing right. But
Yeah.
let
me say this, Gabe. They're a good team.
Yeah, they've got a lot of talent.
And yeah, they're going to be a good team. I'm just telling you, they're not the same team. That's all.
The last time that I can think of the major example of a team having to replace both coordinators was the Eagles a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And they got off to 11-1, 10-1, whatever it was. But then they fell flat on their face, got blown out in a playoff game to the point where they had to bring in new people last year and got Fangio and Kellen Moore won a Super Bowl. Are teams going to start to stray away from these CEO types of, because Sirianni doesn't call the offense or defense. He's still a really good coach. Same thing with Dan Campbell. I love what Dan Campbell's done in Detroit, but to try to avoid the upheaval that can happen if you lose both coordinators in an offseason, are teams going to try to go, hey, I got to make sure I've got an offensive play caller, a defensive play caller as my head coach, because that way I can still avoid a lot of the change of who's in charge of one side of the ball.
Well, I think for a while we saw teams skew towards hiring offensive-minded. I think that's always been the fallback. But I also think that we've seen very successful head coaches who don't always have that background. So it goes both ways. Like John Harbaugh was a special teams coach.
In Philly.
Dermott was a defensive coach. And again, a lot of these teams have great quarterbacks. Surprise, surprise. But I think you skew towards an offensive-minded coach in a perfect world, but it is not mandatory that be the case.
Adam, I know it's only one game, but he played the entire season. Is Caleb Williams looking like another Bears swing and a miss?
Well, the fact that the question comes up is concerning. The fact that you're asking me that this morning is concerning. Now, I do think that there's going to be a period of adjustment that occurs between he and Ben Johnson. And I do think that we have to give him time to learn that system and have the two men marry up their thoughts and ideas. But I'll say this right now. You're not asking me that question about Jaden Daniels today, are you?
No, I'm definitely not.
I'm a little scared of Jaden Daniels. He comes here on Thursday. He's here tomorrow. Adam, I'm a little scared of Jaden Daniels.
Should be scared of Jaden Daniels. Like, You should be scared of that guy. That guy is going to be, one of the best, if not the best quarterback in the league for a long period of time. He's really good. He's really elusive. He's the modern day quarterback. Guy gets it. He's an impressive guy. Handles himself really well, really well. Like that guy's a pro. I love that guy.
Our conversations with Adam Schefter brought to us by the Island Resort and Casino. If you're looking for an all-in-one trip, the Island Resort and Casino has you covered. Championship golf, gaming, spa, dining, and live entertainment all in one epic destination. Book your total experience now, islandresortandcasino.com. You reported it yesterday, Adam. The Packers coming to a one-year contract extension with Christian Watson. It caught me a little bit by surprise. I'm happy that it happened. I didn't see this coming. Why do you think the Packers decided to give Watson a one-year, $13 million extension?
Well, I think he's rehabbing, and I think it's a sign of good faith, right? Like the guy is trying to get ready. He's going to be ready later this season. He's still on PUP right now. You know the kind of talent he has. He's not going to be what he was this year, probably, as he works his way back. And so he doesn't know what he'll get on the open market. They don't know what he'll get on the open market. So before any of that happens, you know what? Let's give him a little bit of guaranteed money. Let's kind of have him not have to worry about that sort of issue in the future. We'll retain the services through the year 2026. I think it works out well for everybody. By the way, like he's back next year on a reasonable contract. He gets some security himself. And if he blows up into the kind of player that he was at one point tracking to be, then maybe you re-sign him to a long-term deal then, and if not, and he gets away, you get an even better compensatory draft pick. So I just think it was in everybody's best interest. It's very unusual for a team to give a one-year extension to a guy rehabbing from an ACL injury. So the Packers deserve a lot of credit there, and I think Christian Watson gets some security. So to me, it makes sense for both sides.
Adam, were you surprised on how well Rodgers played in New York? He had a pretty good game.
He played great. He played great.
Yeah.
I mean, threw 4 touchdown passes, and he, that looked like, and no surprise, it looked like it was going to be personal all day long. He played like it. He talked like it after the game. He certainly remembered that Aaron Glenn basically broke up with him after he flew across the country, to use his words, on his dime, which I don't think Aaron appreciated, and he certainly remembered. So he looked good, and they have a talented team. So we'll see how that works out, but that was impressive.
Talking with Adam Schefter, as we do each and every Wednesday here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. In the past couple of days now, Adam, both the Bears and the Broncos announcing plans for different private stadiums that they're going to be moving. Both seemingly are going to have roofs. Both seemingly think they're going to get a Super Bowl. Is that kind of a guarantee that you build a brand new state-of-the-art stadium? It's got a roof on it, even though if you're in a colder climate like Denver, like Chicago, that you're going to get a Super Bowl from the NFL?
I think it certainly helps. Denver has been brought up as a Super Bowl site. Does Chicago's plans, does it include a roof on that stadium?
It includes a roof. It includes a roof, yes.
I'll say this. If there's a roof there, there'll be a Super Bowl in Chicago one day. That'll happen. Because you know why? There was a Super Bowl in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
So if Minneapolis for a new stadium, there's going to be a Super Bowl in Chicago one day. And I would say the same thing is probably true of Denver as well. So, we'll see how that works out. But, we could start making Super Bowl plans for Chicago if and when that stadium happens, and Denver if and when that stadium happens.
Whatever coat you bought for the draft in Green Bay, Adam, I hope you keep it, just keep it in the back of the closet for whenever you're going to have to cover that Chicago Super Bowl.
I might need a little thicker than that.
Yeah, I will say this. I remember that Super Bowl in Minnesota. That was something.
Didn't you say the coldest was that draft in Chicago, Adam? It was just brutal.
I would say this as a guy who went to undergraduate at Michigan and graduate school at Northwestern. I really believe that 2 of the 3 coldest experiences of my life were the draft in Chicago and the draft in Cleveland.
Ooh, yeah, you get the wind just whipping off the lake.
They had me in some tunnel like on top, and it was like a wind current, and oh my God. And it's like you get out there 3 p.m, you're there till like midnight. So it's like 9 straight hours, and there's nowhere to hide. And
Wait.
for whatever reason, Chicago was brutal. Like
Yeah.
I went to school that year, and I don't ever remember being as cold as I was during the draft. I'm just telling you, right?
So you're saying 2 of the 3 coldest experiences of your life are those 2. What's the third?
There was a time when the Broncos were playing in Kansas City with the wind chill. It was like minus 27. And I remember, whoa, like you don't forget that.
Adam, my biggest surprise over the weekend was just how bad Miami looked. What is going on, Dad? I mean, they looked horrible against an average team in the Colts.
Yeah, what I would say to that is ESPN has this stat called net efficiency where it tracks teams on a scale of 1 to 100. It grades them 1 to 100,
Mm-hmm.
and it grades them on a combined effort of offense, defense, special teams. Now, I don't know what goes into these formulas and how they derive at scores, but I do know that the Miami Dolphins had the lowest score of the week at 1.7 on a scale of 1 to 100.
Yeah. Okay.
Excuse me?
That is...
1.7?
Yeah.
1.7. Now, I haven't studied net efficiency scores of teams, but I'm going to feel reasonably confident in saying that was probably one of the lowest scores in a while.
That sounds like my astronomy class at BC.
How you showed up for 1.7 classes?
Thank God I dropped that thing in time.
So I got to imagine, like, that's a place we're looking at as, is Mike McDaniel going to be the first coach to lose his job?
Oh, I mean, I don't, we're not there yet.
We're not there yet?
One game.
I mean, 1.7, like, that's
bad.
Well, it's a bad game. It's 1 week. Again, if they go 1-7 again this week and 1-7 again, like Chewy did in his classes, then we got a real problem here.
Yeah, that is. I was not anticipating. I felt like this was a big year for Miami, and for them to start the way that they did, just very, very rough. Adam, we always
I have a question for you guys.
Sure.
I'm just curious. There's a reason I'm asking this question. What do you think of the way this shot looked today? This camera looked today.
For you?
Yeah. Any issues with it today?
For you, no. I mean, I see we lost Chewy's camera. Yeah, that happens from time to time. That camera's got a mind of its own, Adam. It's just like it's on Chewy, and then all of a sudden it just wants to shoot the ceiling.
Yeah, we got Chewy ceiling. Now it's going over to Chewy. There he is. Okay,
there he is.
Adam, it's not the first camera I broke.
Yeah, it caught him before with a smile. He was frozen. It looked like happy Chewy forever. But anyway, the reason I asked that is because I got off the air. I got off the air last week and got a very terse and angry email from a listener in the greater Wisconsin area who pointed out to me, "Why are you always fidgeting with your camera? Be more professional. Get it set before you go on air." And so I just wanted to make sure that you guys were good with the way my shot looked today and that there were no issues.
I wonder if it's the same person who's got an issue with me wearing a hat all the time. Thinks it's unprofessional that I'm on camera wearing a hat.
Let's see. I mean, I could go back and look, but yeah.
I thought you were very professional. But again, I guess I thought you've been professional this entire time, Adam. So I guess maybe I'm the wrong person to ask.
Hey guys, it's Jen from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Thanks for watching our clip. I'm sure it was super informative and educational. I'm just kidding. I love those knuckleheads. And we do it live every Monday through Friday from 7 to 9 a.m. on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. Make sure that you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you get informed anytime we drop new content.